Hello. I'm doing my wrap up for July part 2, and even though it's the 28th and there's 30 days? Day 1? I don't know. I'm tired and I've been reading a lot. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 books to show you. 2 of them I will have finished by the end of this month. Both of them are rereads, so I know what happens in them. They're good. Okay. I don't have a lot of books that hold up, so I'm just gonna imagine that you know what the covers look like. So, every single one of these books, except for 2, were 5 stars, so you just know how my reading is going, okay? So my first book is called Every Heart a Doorway. My favourite book ever. Just the quotes and the characters and the everything. My soul belongs to that book. I would literally saw off this arm to get it, so I could just highlight it and love it and hold it and be with it forever. Then I read the prequel, which is called Down Among the Sticks and Bones. So, they're both so good. They're by Shannon Maguire. They're basically about children who go to magical worlds and they come back and they have no idea what they're doing. So they go to this home for people to figure out their, situation, how to go back into the real world. And the first book is about a girl called Nancy who comes back from her world and sits and goes to the house, meets a bunch of people, and it's kind of a murder mystery, and it's so good. The second book, which is a prequel, is about 2 characters that we meet in the first one, and it's about the world that they were in, and there are so many things in it. There are asexual characters, transgender characters, lesbian characters, there's OCD, child abuse. Child abuse is a good one, but the prequel is a lot about how if you push your views and push on your children to do what you want, how that can affect them in further life. So one of the girls in that book called Jack, she her name's Jacqueline, but her nickname's Jack. So one of the girls called Jack, she's been pushed to be a pretty princess when she's really not, and that causes her to have OCD, where she can't really touch people. She gets a significant other, and she makes them clean themselves a lot before they can touch each other. And I feel so bad for her, and she's now one of my favourite characters ever. She's so amazing. Yes. Okay, the next book that I read was This Savage Song by Victoria Schwab. It's really good. This Savage Song is basically about a monster who wants to be human and a human who wants to be appreciated by her father. She doesn't really want to be a monster. But, and they meet and they go on an adventure. Well, they don't really go on an adventure. They meet and then she figures out that he's a monster and then everything blows the fuck up. And it's really good. It's a duology. I haven't read the second book yet. I'm going to read that next month, which is be on my TBR. And it was really good. 5 stars. Victoria Schwab, just one of my new authors. I've read another one of her books, which I might as well talk about now, even though I'm not going in order, but I also read A Dark Shade of Magic by V. Schwab, which is... it was really good. But the thing with Victoria Schwab is that she wraps up books so perfectly that I don't feel it's necessary to read the second one or the rest of the series straight away. which is annoying, but I know Gathering of Shadows has a cliffhanger. So I'm gonna read that. And when I feel like reading it again, which is probably gonna be soon because I really have this, I'm in this weird historical Victorian London phase. But well, so A Dark Shade of Magic is about a guy called Kel who can jump between Londons. So there's Black London, which is dead, Red London, which is alive and knows about magic, White London, which is something, and Blue London, which is something. White or blue, one of them's like the normal world and one of them's dying because of magic is dying out or something. It's kind of confusing, but you understand why you're reading it. I just can't remember because I've read so many books since then. But it was really good. I like Kel, and I like Lila, and I like Rye, and it's like the first section of the book is good, and then as soon as Kel meets Lila, which is not a spoiler, it's obvious they're gonna meet because they're the two main characters. So as soon as they meet, that's when the story gets going, and you start experiencing all the things. Okay. So let me go back to where I was. So after I read this Savage Song, I read The Summer Palace by C.S. Pacat. My children, my babies, I love them. Seriously, C.S. Pacat, just write all of the books about Laurent and Damon, just all of them. Because I started reading that and I was like, and then I went on Tumblr and I saw a quote from Charles, The Adventures of Charles, the Veterinarian Cloth Merchant, and I was like, I didn't want to read it because I thought it was just about Charles, but then it has Damon and Laurent in it, so I have to read it at some point. But this one was really good. It was like 30 pages, so it's not even a book. It's not even a novella. It's a short story. But it was still good. I still read it. It was still great. It hurts my soul. Okay, let's move on. Then I read Carry On by Rainbow Rowell. Oh my god. Oh my god. I read the entire book in a day. It's good. It's so good. It's so great. I love it. I just, Simon and Baz, I was waiting the entire book. I'm like, okay, Baz is here. Let's wait. We're waiting. I'm waiting, and I'm like, and then he says something along the lines of, Simon's an idiot, but I'm completely and utterly in love with him, and I'm like, my children, my cute babies, and then when they kiss, and oh, yeah, 5 stars. That actually got me into my fucking, so I read, yeah, Carry On got me into my I want all of London books, and then I started reading Dark Shade of Magic, and I was like, I want more London books. And then I didn't read any more London books, which is weird, but whatever. So I read a Dark Shade of Magic, and that was really good. I was talking about Carry On, but I love Carry On. 5 stars, amazing, great, wow, fantastic. Okay. Then I read The Hostile Hospital, Series of Unfortunate Events, book 9, 8, book 8. This is my favourite. So my favourites go The Hostile Hospital, A Rat's Elevator, and then Reptile Room. Least favourite is The Vile Village. And then The Miserable Mill. So like Vile Village, Miserable Mill, other ones, Reptile Room, Rat's Elevator, Hostile Hospital. Like that. I like Hostile Hospital the most because Count Olaf wasn't really in it, which is great because he just wasn't in that one that much. He wasn't in that at all really, he was only in it at the end. But yeah, so that was good. Obviously they're all good books, but whatever. So then I read, oh my god, I can hold up books. I read, nope, not that one. Oh my god. Ah. Bye, creeper. Oh, I fell on the floor. I read this. Yeah, I read this. Okay. So, not gonna say anything about this. 5 stars. Amazing. Wow. Great. Wow. Okay. I'm in the middle of reading this. Fearless, if you haven't read that book. I was sat in the bath earlier reading this. I got to the Fearless chapter, I'm like, I need to get out of the bath. And then I skipped a few pages just so I could read the scene where Alec is about to come out to his parents and then Magnus knocks him out. Just wanted to read that scene, it's a great scene. Okay. Then I finished The Dream Thieves because I was this far into The Dream Thieves when before I started the readathon, and then I finished about this much of it, so about 200 extra pages of this, which is great. Obviously, I'm going to do a full review on this when I've read The Raven King and when I'm not doing all the readathons, but yeah, so The Dream Thieves, my favourite in the series, definitely. Like, just, I don't know, I can't choose between these two. Then I read this, but like, I can't choose between these two. They're both great, and I'm in the middle of reading this. I'm not really in the middle of reading it. I'm on page like 50, but like, I'm reading The Raven King. I'm this far in, and it's great. I'll do a full review on this series when I've finished it. This will be beautiful. Okay, all done. That's done. Okay. Then I read 2 poetry books. I don't have the author's name. Okay. If you go onto Goodreads, on Goodreads, there is a section of Goodreads that says top books of like 2016. And then there's the categories. I went into the category poetry and I was like, I want to read some poetry. So I clicked on poetry and I'm like scrolling through. Like, the first one was The Princess Saves Herself in this one, which I just read. And then the second one was called The Universe of Us. And so I decided that I was going to read all of this woman's poetry, because she has 4 books, and they're all like 200 pages, but the ebooks are like 90 pages. So I read the first 2 that she released. The first one is called Love and Misadventures, and the second one's called Lullabies. Love and Misadventures, I read it all in like an hour, maybe even less. It was good, but that was 4 stars, and then the second one was 4 stars. They have a really weird saying where they have like the normal poems and then they have like sections of poetry that are like pages, like full like this kind of page, and I didn't really like that, so I gave them both 4 stars. They still had good messages and stuff, but I didn't really enjoy the chunkier sections, but they're still poetry, so yeah. For the booktubeathon though, the booktubeathon is included in this. I read A Dark Shade of Magic, City of Bones, City of Ashes, Love and Misadventures, Lullabies, Blue Lily Blue, and The Raven King. And they're my books for that, and that's it. When I finish these 2, that will make 8. Or not. 1, 2, 3, 4. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Wait. I feel like I'm missing a book. 1 second. I just realised I read The Hostile Hospital as well in the booktubeathon. So yeah, I read The Hostile Hospital, Dark Shade of Magic, City of Bones, City of Ashes. These 2. I finished this and I read the 2 poetry books. So that's 8 books. And I am planning on reading the Slammed duology. I'm not reading I don't want to read books that are the same book from a different point of view. I don't care. I like the short stories. Like, there's a short story in City of Fallen Angels, the version that I've got, that's got the kissing scene between Clary and Jace in that book. It's got Jace's version of that scene. And I'll read things like that, but not entire books. That just seems like kind of boring to me. But yeah. So that's that. Done. that's the end of it. So the Raven King is gonna say goodbye because I'm gonna probably read this after I fill my TBR. And my TBR, get ready for it, cause man, have I got a lot of books that I want to read in August. And they're all of them big books, so get ready for that. Starting this onto my wrap up, it is 10:22 on the 31st of July, so I've just finished Fangirl by River Rowell. Have 2 tabs. One is about audiobooks and one is about just how Levi is me. But I liked this book, but I liked Carry On 10 million billion times better. So I rated this 4 stars because I wanted to be more critical, because I have BookTube channel now, so I want to be more critical with my ratings, because I've never rated anything below 5 stars if I thought it was good. So 4-star book. Maybe it was the hype, maybe it was the not reading it as soon as it came out, maybe it was the Carry On before this, but just, I liked it, but I probably won't read it again. That's how I feel about the book. That is how I feel about the book. Just probably won't read it again. Also, I know in my wrap up, I said that I was going to finish The Raven King and Save Ashes, which I did. So, I'll see you tomorrow with my TBR for August. Nah. Also, this was supposed to be on my TBR for August, so just know that I've read this.